Hi everyone, it's our Worry Less Challenge Day 2. I hope that things are going well. Hopefully you've been tracking, or if not, you're doing it today, just your worrisome thoughts. Ideally, you're logging it either in a notepad. I know I've gotten some messages from some of you that you're just using a journal, or you can use the notes section in your phone, whatever is easiest for you. So just whenever you're aware of like, oh gosh, there's that thought again, to try to interrupt it, because the minute that you log it, you're actually interrupting it, and then you just want to log it, right? And so as you're doing that, as I was explaining, and I can give more information on this in our next email, you're basically creating a new neural pathway. So then once you log it, you have your baseline of, this is how many times I worried in one day. You want to do it for the course of an entire day from morning to evening. And then once you've done that for the first day, then the second day, whether that's today or tomorrow, depending on when you got started, then you want to dive into not only jotting down the worrisome thought, but now you want to interrupt it. And so the way that you do that is, let's say I'll use an example. So I recently had a large bill come up that I didn't anticipate. And so that of course triggered, a certain worry. Oh, I didn't expect that. It was a medical bill, blah, blah, blah. And so all these like worrisome thoughts started to happen. And so once I notice it, you just ask a question like, is it true? So basically, yes, it's true that the bill is here, but is it true that it's going to cause all these other concerns or worries? And that's when you really want to interrupt the thought and see where you might be catastrophizing it. Like in my case, I was like, oh no, is this going to affect, all these other expenses and these bills? Money for a lot of people, and I wanted to use that one specifically because money can trigger a lot of old patterns, a lot of old worrisome thoughts, and that is my case. Like I would say that's my trigger. That comes from my own childhood stuff, and money's the one thing that can trigger me, even though I'm safe, I'm fine, I'm okay, because it was an ongoing thing for me in my childhood. It's something that I know triggers me. And so when my mind starts catastrophizing it, so in your, if this happens to you, just like pause and start questioning the thought. Like, okay, the facts, and really try to break it down. Like, is it true? Yes, it's true that I have this bill, but is it true all these other stories that your mind is creating? So you really want to start noticing, what stories is your mind creating around the worry? Is it that, oh my goodness, I'm not going to be able to afford my bills? Is that true? Really try to break it down. Is that true? Really do get out a spreadsheet, do the numbers. Is that the case? Because you really want to start to challenge that worrisome thought. And that in itself starts to provide some relief. You want to just really kind of deconstruct the thought. Is it true? And keep asking yourself those questions until you can get to the heart of it. I'm trying to think of another example. So I think I shared a client who was transitioning into a new career. So all these worrisome thoughts and stories, worry usually links to all kinds of stories, worst case scenario stories. So she started saying, oh my goodness, she started her own private practice as a therapist. Am I going to get enough clients? So the worrisome thought is, no, I won't. Well, is that true? No. Well, yes or no. It could be. If she doesn't take any action and just sits there and worry, then she's not going to take massive action, and she probably won't get results, right? But is it true that she can't? No. So then that, you can see how that alone, that moves her into action. And that's what you want to do. You want to start moving into action. So I have this fear in her case that I'm not going to get clients to build up my therapeutic practice. Okay, well, what can you do? So you start brainstorming, what can I do to overcome this worrisome thought? And something we did, we basically came up with a plan of how can she get clients? What feels doable? What would make her feel safe? Because underneath worry, a lot of the times is fear, and fear linked to, will I be safe? Will I be okay? And so just remember, like in my case with this bill that was unexpected, in her case, transitioning careers, it really brings up will I be okay? Am I going to be safe? And so diving into that thought, in her case, her fear was, can I have enough clients? So then once you break it down, oh, these are my ways that I'm going to get clients. Then when you move into action, that can kind of calm the worry a little bit. And another thing that you want to start doing, so remember, day 1, you're just observing. Day 2, you're interrupting the thought by asking, is this really true? Like in her case, her fear, I won't get clients. Is that true? No. Not if she moves into action, not if she takes steps. And by moving into action, you can really start to lower that worrisome thought. The other thing coupled with that you want to do is keep reminding yourself you're okay. So in both of those cases, okay, I got this large bill that wasn't expected. Am I okay? Am I safe here in this moment? I still have a home. I still have my health. I still have my family. I'm okay. And that keeps you more here instead of all the what if scenarios. Oh gosh, what if I can't afford it? What if this is going to affect, what I already owe? What if, your mind starts going into all these what ifs? And the other example that I use is to stay consistent. For her, she could remind herself, am I okay? Yes, she was okay. She was still at one job. She still had time to transition into another one. So when she got out of this story of, I won't get enough clients, this is going to be so scary, oh my gosh, am I safe? She was okay. She had her health, she was present, she still had the one job, she still had time to plan and get clients to transition into the next job. So I really want you to work, once you've observed your thoughts, to now just question them and challenge them and say, is this true? Is this notion that my mind is now starting to create the story, is it true? And that's going to help you start seeing the stories that your mind creates. And if you're really in a panic or feeling really worried, you can tap your heart. That actually helps to calm you. And you can also just remind yourself, I'm okay, and start looking for evidence of that. Okay, like here's my home, I'm healthy. Whatever you can focus on that kind of shifts you to gratitude and to that moment. So that's the second practice that I want you to do in day 2. So one full day of observations, and I'd love to know how many times you worried. If you want to DM me or just let me know, you can just give me a number, it was 100 times or 40 times or whatever it was. And then once you've done a full day of that, then the second day you just want to do a full day of challenging that thought by asking, is this really true? And reminding yourself that you're okay. And if it's not true, to really come up with an action plan of dealing with the underlying fear, the underlying, am I capable of doing this? Am I okay? Am I worthy? Like really getting at kind of the root of it. So I hope this makes sense. Let me know if you have any questions. Excited for you guys to make these like little micro steps, because know that by doing this and working on this slowly every day and really working with your thoughts, which is obviously where our worry comes from, you'll definitely be getting to the other side and worrying less and less. So thank you so much. Until tomorrow, I hope that you're continuing to worry less and less. Talk soon.